Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree!
Thank you for tuning in to our 59th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything that's important to us, to you, the world, and nothing is off the table. In this episode, we're talking all about whether our society is obsessed with sex. But before we get there, let's go over a couple of ground rules. First, have you subscribed to WokeNFree on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and all the other platforms we're on? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to WokeNFree.com, which you probably are on, hopefully now, and you can subscribe to all of the different channels that our show's on. Next, have you shared an episode with friends or family? If not, this is a good episode, guys. This is a sexy episode, so please do share. And, of course, if you're interested in speaking with us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokeNFree. Then lastly, we'd love for you to review our show. So if you have some time, just a couple of minutes, guys, go on to any of the platforms we're on, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and all the other platforms we're on, and give us a review, including our Facebook page, right, on social media as well. We'd greatly appreciate your support.
Hey, you know the deal, guys. Each week we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode. Last week we shared, what do you drink in the afternoon if you're feeling really tired? This week we're sharing, do you prefer sleeping nude or with pajamas?
Okay, Khalil, that's just a little bit too much.
I don't think so. It's actually a question that comes up in daily conversation, probably.
Well, apparently it's healthier to sleep naked, and so I choose to go against the norm and
sleep unhealthier.
Yes, with my jammies and my girls intact.
Oh. Wow, you would do that? So you're gonna put people away just for being...
People, guys, you know what he's referring to.
You said girls, so you're trying to put girls in prison, so that's up to you.
Okay, retract that statement.
Okay, you're trying to take girls out of prison.
Do you want me to call them what they are?
Wow, that just seems really...
Breast! Now you made me say it. Breast. So,
okay, I love chicken breast. I mean, that's a good part of the meat.
Oh, yeah.
We can have thighs, too.
That's what I sleep with, chicken breast, right?
Well, you like the wings, though. I mean, you're more of a wing lady, but yeah.
That's not what's on my chest.
You put food on your chest? You're crazy.
We digress,
I can't
guys.
believe you.
I sleep with jammies. I like to kick and move around in my sleep. I want everything where they need to be with clothing on top and living my best life. How about you?
Alright, for me it's like half and half. I'd say I have no shirt on, but I definitely have my bottoms on.
You sure it's not the opposite?
Nah, definitely not. I mean, if I had a nightgown or something, then you could do that, but unfortunately I don't own a nightgown.
Oh
so.
My God. Jesus Christ, Khalil.
It's unfortunate.
Is that on your Christmas list this year?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I use my old clothes for that.
Oh my goodness.
No need to buy pajamas. You have old t-shirts you can just wear.
Christmas ideas coming to mind as we speak. But with this really disturbing intro into our episode for today, I think we'll just roll on through this. And
if you say so.
Yes. First question out of the gate. How does sex play a role in our society?
Well, I guess you're not referring to like the alternative word for gender, right? Not that sex, because that's another word for male or female.
WokeNFree Nation, I wish you could see my face right now.
And I'll give like a good... This is a pro tip for everybody. Never ask Alexa about sex.
Oh, does she say I'm not comfortable with talking about this or something? Or?
To some degree.
Yeah.
Basically, you go ask your parents kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, they built that in there.
What if you had no parent? What if you were orphaned?
I know, that's what's crazy. That's why I
very
said don't ask it.
insensitive.
That's why I said don't ask her that. She's not ready for that. But at the most basic, it's like sex is for procreation. It keeps our society alive, so to speak. You know, without sex, then how would people be born? That's at least currently that's how it is. But in its rawest form, sex is for pleasure. It can be for pleasure. It can give a feeling that's not quite like anything else. It's kind of like a special drug for some people.
Is that so?
Could be. I'm just saying.
Theoretically, right? We're not
this
speaking
is
from
theory.
personal experience.
This is theory.
Just theory, guys.
Of course.
Of course.
I think it's also important part of like relationship between two partners or more.
Or more. Oh,
yeah. You gotta add that in there just in case. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to the polyamorous of the world.
Or just the freaky. I mean, you don't know.
Or the freaky.
Yeah, the people that just get down when they can get down. That's how it goes. It can be a way of expressing your emotions, and people don't realize, but it's also regulated by government as not to abuse others.
Supposedly.
Well, it's supposed to be. I mean, there's laws and rules in place for that. So we do have those. And then it's also sometimes controlled by family members, like a dad forbidding his daughter from engaging in it, giving her a chastity belt.
And there, unfortunately, yeah, okay, I'll just get.
But I know,
I have to say.
yeah, you can go in, but yeah, it's definitely. I mean, there's all these people trying to regulate it, even though it's kind of like a personal choice. I think that's what's interesting about it.
For me, I would say I've seen how sex has played a role with religion, usually the banishing and or judgment of sex and the types of sex that people engage in. You mentioned it, relationships, it definitely is at the forefront of supposedly relationship health. Would include a vibrant sex life. And then also just, living your best life kind of thing. We also see it with child pregnancy, and, Teen Mom would not be a raved about show if people were not fascinated with the idea of people at certain different age groups kind of engaging in this. The oldest job of the books of all time, prostitution, which then also leads to, isn't that the oldest job in history or something like that? Like, isn't that the phrase you say?
Know.
Like, there's something.
I don't know. I mean,
and prostitution's been from, like, the Bible times, right? Like,
it's been around for a while, but I would think the first job would probably be a hunter.
I mean, I would say
if
something,
you really...
but I won't.
Well, I'm talking about hunting like boar and fish.
Boar, oh good God.
Or maybe turkeys. Gobble gobble.
Gobble 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 gobble.
It's nearly that time, so that's a good throw in. There you go. Yeah, I think hunter would probably be the first job. I never even thought about what was the first occupation of humans. I don't know, but was it sex worker? I mean, really? I doubt it could have been. That could have been the first.
I mean, it's one of the oldest jobs.
No, that would have to be like the 10th job on the list out of all the jobs that existed.
I don't know. With humanity, people seem very intrigued by sexuality and then bartering things for it. So
you never know. Yeah, I guess that's a thing for. Yeah. Maybe we can do a topic on that.
Potentially, yes. What is the history of prostitution?
How riveting! Yes.
WokeNFree Nation, if you want to discuss the history of prostitution, please let us know on WokeNFree.com.
You know what? Yeah, actually, I mean, I don't know if the History Channel has done that, but it might be interesting. Yeah, it might be an interesting topic to discuss.
A less humorous subject, and prostitution actually is not humorous.
It's a job. I mean, what?
No, but there's humorous? A lot of abuse. And,
I understand that, but there are some people that just make the dough from that.
Again.
Okay, you don't go into it, but all right, maybe. I don't know.
It's not just as clean and fun and giggly.
It's not about getting paid the ducats, as they would call them, right?
I cannot with you.
Making the bread.
Additionally, we see sex.
All right.
And sex slavery, which is definitely not something to laugh about, or rape culture, sexualization in media and entertainment, and then of course we can't even forget gaming, since our last episode, guys, what is the real impact of video games? So sex, and that's just a short list that comes to my mind. I'm sure you guys could add 30 other things that sex, is relevant in your mind, but...
Yeah, I mean, gaming, I think, to me, what I think about when I think about sex and gaming, I think a lot of people might think about is like Grand Theft Auto.
Yes,
and they
that's
had
what comes to my mind, yeah.
But you might not know, but they had like this hot coffee glitch where you went for coffee, but it's a code name for like sex, and it was like this glitch in the game that they left in there that wasn't supposed to be there, but you had like a sex kind of scene.
Children play this game.
But it was a glitch though, you couldn't get to it easily, but they did actually have it in there.
I'm so glad that you found out about that glitch as well too. That's wonderful.
I don't think I found it on the system. I found it online, I think. Yeah.
lies and fairy tales.
I don't know if it existed on the system. I think you had to hack the game to get to it. That was the thing. You had to do it on PC, so I wasn't.
Oh, sorry,
PC
guys, I
gamer.
forgot pornography. There's another one. There you go.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's with that. Oh, I guess you didn't list that as part of your groups, but
Yeah,
that is
pornography.
part of the.
Yeah.
That's probably part of the sex work industry.
Yeah,
I would say.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely where we see that in, and that takes a whole different spin on sex, I would say. It's definitely not for relationships, I would say. That's don't use that as a guide, which I know some people might, but try not to do that. But let's get down to something else, though, that just might be interesting to know. Let's talk about the sex stats. What should people know about that?
So this is interesting. I found lots of tidbits of information from this Men's Journal 2015 article. And again, all of our research, guys, you can find on WokeNFree.com. So let's get into it. The average age of first sexual intercourse would be, what do you think?
I would think 16.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's around that age. It's 17. So our kiddies, guys, are getting busy sooner than they probably should. At 17, you are in no emotional state to be engaging in sexy Red Town. But
Red Town is what it's called?
I just came up with that.
That's not a website that you run or something.
Excuse you?
No, I heard Red Town. I'm like, what is this about? That's some weird stuff there. Or Red Light District. I get it. It's a hint at that.
Yes, exactly.
Red Town. Okay. I see you. I caught your drift.
Next. 74% of women engage in sex before marriage. And I know this to be true because that's what all the girls talk about. I mean,
74%. Wow.
Yeah, because most of you guys are not so
that's...
keen to getting married before we're doing it. So that number makes sense. And that was from 2015. The number's probably even higher now. So.
Yeah, it's probably like 99.9 or something. Something weird. It's like a crazy...
Chivalry is dead.
What I gotta ask, though, I don't know if you know, is this for USA or is this for Europe?
I believe this is US-based stats.
Okay.
But,
all right, that's just good to know. All right.
Next, the average number of partners for men is a 6-to-1, kind of 6.1 ratio, so that's interesting.
6.1. It wasn't 6.3 or anything.
Yeah.
It says that 0.1, though. There's a tenth in there.
Yeah. And then 56.9% of men between the ages of 18 to 24 hadn't had sex in a year. So
that's surprising.
Y'all aren't getting as busy as you guys want.
That must be men that aren't in college, I would say.
Even though that's the college age group?
Yeah, but not all men. I don't know what the statistics are, but how many men in that age actually are in college at that point?
Yeah,
I have no clue. Like, I don't know what it is.
Look at the Men's Journal article on WokeNFree.com, and they might divulge more of that there.
Because that's saying that technically a majority of men between those ages are not having sex within a year. That's
in a year,
yeah.
Also, 3 minutes of sex is normal, according to researchers from Penn State University. Yes, Penn State. Opens a new window. They found that 34 members of the Society for Sex Therapy and Research deemed anywhere from 3 to 13 minutes as adequate to desirable. Previous research reported that both men and women often look for romps lasting over 30 minutes, but the experts who were surveyed said anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes could be too long.
Now, the thing I love is it said adequate to desirable, like, and then it went on to say experts have deemed that. So who are these experts? Are they talking to like porn stars? Like
people who are getting enough romping in their days?
Like that's crazy to me to say. All right, guy, you're a sex expert.
Don't make fun of people.
You're a sex intermediate. No, but I wonder who they deem like the experts.
Would probably be people who have doctorates in this field and have done
in the sex field.
In the theoretics of sexuality and have studied it and probably observed and did research. You know what makes an expert.
You know who the expert is. We all knew who the expert is. She performed at Super Bowl. Her name is Missy Elliott. And guess what? She don't want no 1 minute man. That's what she said.
You've lost your mind. You've literally
That's what Missy told us.
She was a sex expert?
No, but she made a whole song about it. She said she don't want a 1 minute man.
She never said she was a sex expert, Khalil.
Who makes a song, though, called 1 minute Was it called One
No,
Minute
it
Man?
wasn't actually. You need to get
No,
your
actually, you don't know the name of the song either. It probably was that. I don't know the name of it.
I can't.
No, but look, she was the expert on it, and these claimed experts say they know what the time is about. But Missy already said it in a song. She made a whole song about it. It was popular.
110 million people have STDs.
See, come on.
So
now.
each year, the CDC estimates that there are 20 million new instances of sexually transmitted infections. The total number of infections is believed to be about 110 million, which is costing our country $16 billion. So this is, again, from 2015. The stats could be higher, could be lower. You could look into that. But apparently a lot of people are getting down and spreading diseases with each other. So,
well, if it's crabs, then you can't help that one. You're just screwed.
okay.
You just gotta tell people to shave.
At the time, 28 states didn't require sex ed. And in the article, it talks about how kind of, what is it? Like, so from 2006 to 2010, 29.5% of females and 39.1% of males ages 15 to 19 reported they did not receive any formal instruction on methods of birth control before the age of 18, which is a little bit disturbing. And actually, I did a little bit more research, and the numbers aren't that much higher. And technically, sex ed is not required in all 50 states, which
that's crazy.
Really blows my mind.
I know. I didn't know that. I thought that was in all high schools.
Yeah, no, it's not required.
So when I was in high school, I never knew that there was other people actually not taking this class. I thought sex ed was for everybody. I didn't realize.
I mean, I took sex ed, but I tried not to pay attention because I found the course to be disturbing.
That's fine, but at least it was offered in your school. Imagine it not even being offered, because then it's possible for you to not know what a condom is.
I mean, that's so weird, though. They have them
Isn't
in
that
film
nuts?
and TV.
Yeah, but what if you don't watch any of that? What if you just read the Bible?
Sex toys are a $15 billion industry in America. Online adult stores, Adam and Eve, in 2013 about the use of sex toys in America. They reported that $15 billion is spent each year on sex toys and that 82% of adults use them. And the point of this is, again, all stuff can be on
Obviously, you need to open up a sex toy business.
But yeah, like, it's apparently a very
crazy.
lucrative industry.
I didn't know it earned billions of dollars just for the toys. Like, what?
Well, we were just watching something, and I mean, she didn't use it to a sex toy, but...
Well, we don't know what she used, to be honest. No, because... Oh, yeah, well, I got to bring it up, because you didn't comment on it, but I was like, when were sex toys invented? Like, was there a sex toy in the 50s? I think there was. I don't know, like, from searching, but there probably was, like, a sex toy in the 50s. Probably.
I think they go back years, yeah.
They had, like, wooden stuff and,
Stop it.
I don't know what the stuff was made of. They had plastic back then.
30% of men will have an extramarital affair. Which indicates that approximately 20 to 40% of men and 20 to 25% of women will have an extramarital affair at some point in their lives. Among married men and women, 2 to 6% are likely to have an affair in the last year. So people are getting busy even when they shouldn't get busy with other people.
That's low, 2 to 6%?
In the last year, but on average, 30% of men, a third of you are dirty down dogs.
Yeah, but women too.
Keep the feminist movement alive.
No, it goes hand in hand. It could be man or woman messing around. Men
think about sex 188% more than women. Did you know?
That number is way off. You know it's 1,000. Let's get real, guys. It's 10 times that amount.
So there was a study that said that from the Ohio State University at Mansfield had 283 college students monitor how often they thought about sex in a week, and overall men's number of thoughts topped out at 388. That's 2.3 times an hour, with the median number of thoughts being 18.6, and then women's highest number was 140, and the median was 9.9. So you all are perverts, and women are not perverts.
This study is hilarious to me. So they asked them, they're like, how many times do you think about it? I mean, did they literally say, all right, so in the beginning of the day, it was like 5 times for that 1 hour, but once lunchtime came around, I started thinking about it a little bit less and less. So if you look at my numbers, it averages out to this. That's just funny to say each hour how many times somebody's
Well, you know what
thinking
I was
about
envisioning?
it. That's
Maybe,
like crazy.
Maybe they were like,
Or they can't be questioning them on the hour, like, hey, what are you thinking about?
No, but like maybe they have like
this
a
is
clicker
like hard to
or
even
something
think.
on their phone where the minute you think about sex, you like
You press a button
something,
or something?
and maybe
Oh.
they add up all the clicks and then it tells you like, you know, because that I do think that people couldn't recall
I know.
how many times
To go back, I'm gonna go back,
Yeah.
for this day and see like how many times did I really
think you have
think
to just
about it.
click it. And
Or was
just
I thinking
click,
about
click,
sex,
click.
or was I thinking about a good piece of steak or something? Something meaty. I don't know.
Reaffirming that you're insane.
I'm just saying, like, if I was in the study, like, if I was being asked that, I'd say, hey, I wanted a good steak. I don't remember. Steak is a S. Sex is a S. They both have E's. One has X.
If you're confusing sex and steak, Khalil, we have bigger problems, sir.
Probably.
Ruth Chris Steakhouse is not like it's sexy red town time.
Oh.
Definitely not.
It's not the red light district.
I mean, it's good steak, but damn. I mean, it's
okay.
not that good. You would rather steak instead of... that's
See,
a
now
lie.
you're just saying, you're adding extra words that I never even heard of in my life. Like, this is new language to me. I would love to learn it, but
Tú hablas español.
we can't learn this. We don't have enough time to learn your language in this short podcast.
¿Por qué?
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay. Do you
That's what I
think...
say.
do you think we have too much sex in our movies and TV shows?
I would say resoundingly no. I think American TV doesn't embrace sexuality enough to me. I mean, they'll show sex sometimes, but I don't know. To me, it's usually reserved for the movies where they show kind of like the action of it. Regular cable, they're still like afraid of showing sex scenes. Thankfully though, we got like Netflix who aren't afraid to push the boundaries. They have shows that really explore sexuality to the next degree.
Well, they have like
different
exposés
things going on.
it. I mean, it's really nuts.
Yeah, they have
There's
that.
a new one I just saw. I was like, y'all are some crazy
Well,
people.
yeah, they'll actually get into the nitty gritty, and they'll have
in
like real
Tokyo.
shows
Like-
too. Yeah,
like,
they'll tell you
whoa.
what's going on in these countries
Whoa.
and stuff. But you don't get that on like daytime, even cable, where people pay for that. They don't get that.
Children can watch these things.
Yeah, but they
though.
shouldn't watch it. Watch something. Go watch YouTube. Go watch the
Even
funny
more.
stuff. No, but on YouTube they block that stuff, or they try to. I don't know.
There's porn on Facebook, so like...
No, Facebook's a different question. No, Facebook I understand. Facebook has its issues,
Yeah.
but YouTube, they try to get that stuff washed out, so your kids shouldn't be seeing that. I don't know though. Are people having that issue where kids are watching porn on YouTube? I don't know.
Yes, probably.
Probably. I mean, I have to admit though, one time I did see some pornography come up in YouTube, and I did like, okay, don't know why that's there.
You're so brave for admitting that on air.
No, that came up. I was like, oh, this is nuts.
Oh,
I
and
didn't
you
even think
ran
YouTube.
and you prayed and you got right with God.
No, but what's crazy is that I don't know why that came up. It was like, I think it was in my feed.
Really, Khalil?
No,
Really?
it was in my feed. It was weird.
Who are you following?
NBA.
I bet. That's a sexy term that stands for something else, I bet.
NBA, I know. Yeah, it's national, all right.
I could say something, but I won't.
That wouldn't be woke of you. That would not be woke of you. You need to like think outside the box and think. Is YouTube trying to push an agenda on us? That's what I'm getting at.
On us, as opposed to you.
No, guess what? I wonder how many people have experienced this where porn has come up in their
Unexpected
feed.
porn. Oh no, this is the worst thing that could happen
On
in my
YouTube.
day.
On YouTube, we're talking about specifically. Let's get it together.
I believe there is too much sex in movies and TV.
Whoa! No, we're talking about American TV, though.
Yeah,
You realize
I
that,
believe.
right?
Well, movies and TV. I think that I've seen. Do you remember American Horror Story? I mean, I think that in various genres, I see
Yeah, but they're not-
sexuality. I mean, I expected that you would say yes, and I expected that I would say no, because why? I am always shocked when I don't see sex scenes or intimacies in programs or movies. And that means to me that I'm seeing it so much to the point where if I don't see it, I'm like, whoa, why aren't they
That's
bumping?
because American TV and partially movies have been censored so much. If you go and look at foreign films, if you even go just to the UK, their TV's a lot less censored than ours. Like they'll show a lot of this stuff. They have a show about like people with like body mishaps, and they would never have that on American TV, where they show like people's whose their boobs are two different sizes or stuff. But they have a lot of that kind of things on there.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind. I'm a bit torn. So I do agree with you that I think that our country is more censored in terms of showing sexuality compared to more open places like Europe, places in Europe. But I also
Yeah.
am torn with the idea that children don't have, I feel like, the content that we had growing up where they could just be kids, right? Like you could just watch Rugrats, you could watch Doug and just have a good time. And now there's all these like other agendas that are
Well, yeah,
written into
those are pushed now.
stories,
Agendas are being
and then
pushed, yeah.
kids aren't just taking content to be kids, right? But like they're thinking about, and they, I mean, I get it. You have to think about sexuality and all of these things and race and socioeconomic statuses, but it also means that our children are growing up faster than they need to be, maybe. And that, so I'm torn. I'm torn between the idea of like more sex and more, and we'll talk about it more, but other things that we should probably be seeing when it comes to the conversation of sex. And then also saying, you know what, let's like roll this back a little bit and let's just have people be people, enjoy content. Why don't we show movies that really focus on the relationship building that allows for people to have long-standing relationships in life, not these fake scenes, you know? So it's, I'm a bit torn, but with that, let's get to this. How would you say sex should be dealt with differently then in our society?
I think the biggest issue is how sex is used as like a form of control or power over others. I think this needs to be dealt with and is probably the reason why there is a lot of sexual violence in our society. The biggest issue rearing its head is all these people in high power roles sexually abusing subordinates.
Yes.
I looked at this Psychology Today article that mentioned a study that found people in high positions actually believed that subordinates were more sexually interested in them. They found that new authoritative powers actually increased harassment tendency among both men and women. So people in these new roles, like if you're just given power and you've been in a subordinate role your whole life, you tend to like sexually abuse your subordinates. Isn't that funny? Men or women, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
That's what they found in their study.
That's really disturbing, actually.
Yeah, it's like that new, I don't know, when you get into that higher level, you just feel people should bow down to you. Like they serve you, I guess. And in a sexual type of manner, too.
And it's so inappropriate.
what happens.
And how can you expect people to do quality work for you if you're like making them have sexual things with you? Like that.
Well, you feel that they need to do their work and they need to please you, too. Show how much they care for you, I guess.
That's really dehumanizing.
And they just see that
humiliating, really.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. They just think that automatically. Oh, because I'm their boss, they must like me.
You have to sex me. Like,
I'm working for you, so I want to please you to get a raise. I mean, I want to do the best job I can do, so you appreciate
really
my
disturbing.
work.
People need.
I don't know why that's tied.
And they need to handle this because that's inappropriate.
Yeah, they tie it back to sexuality, though. People link it. It might be something in the human psyche. It's something in the human psyche.
We're thinking about sex too much, and
you
maybe
think it's
in
that?
a
I don't know.
Unhealthy manner, because that should not be a one for one. Like, oh, you work for me, so you must give me boop. Like, no. This is different. Like
you must show your gratitude.
I would never think that. I mean, outside of being married, I would never think of being in a position where I'd have people under me and be
think
like,
that they're attracted
it's
to
time
me.
to get boogie down. But
would you even think that it's like since I'm the boss, people are more attracted to me?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even assume
That's what
that
they're
just
saying.
because
That's
you work
the
with
truth.
someone that someone likes you, much less wants to sex you.
No, but not just that you work with them. You're their boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would think that if I was someone's boss, which I have continued in my career, been have held supervisory roles, and not automatically assume that that's
this person is definitely attractive.
Really inappropriate.
Like that.
Really wrong.
It's definitely illogical at most.
Well, it's really narcissistic as well. Like
it is. Yeah, I think they mentioned that. Yeah, narcissism involved. Yeah,
people want to lay down and get down with you. Like that's blowing my mind right now.
Yeah,
but,
crazy.
Additional things I would add to this would be, I think I agree with you. Sex should be dealt with differently in our society for the following reasons. Sex education, I believe, should be mandated in all 50 states, no matter how uncomfortable the subject is. I remember sitting in that classroom and being very upset that I had to learn it, but you're absolutely right. Like, that's really scary if someone is growing up and not understanding what a condom is until they're 18 years old. That's dangerous, especially if they're having sex before that. That's really weird. Also, I think that, and just a shout out, if you want to know more about like sex ed law, you can go to Gutmatcher. So that's GUTTMACHER.org. You'll find this on WokeNFree.com as well. Also, I think that, so kind of like what I was talking about with content for children, I don't know. I'm a little unnerved by how children are being exposed to very adult-like content. And I know you have blocks and things that you can do to shield them, but kids are clever and they find ways to get around those. So just keeping that in mind. And then also, I'm also disturbed by the fact that sex in film is not what sex in reality is. Now, whether your sex is better or whether the TV or film sex is better, that's for you to determine. But I just think that how it's portrayed is completely unrealistic. And like, even just from a simple kiss, like these kisses in films are like transformative in nature. And in reality, you're just, just sharing spit with somebody. And it's not...
Yeah, but it's tasty.
You digress. So there's that, and then the other thing, and I don't know how people will feel about this, but guys, what about diversity in sexuality? Not everyone in our society is heterosexual, so why do we keep seeing heterosexual sex over and over again? And then again, different abled bodies having sex, different genders having sex, different nationalities and backgrounds having sex, right? Like, not everyone is a white male and a white female. Not everyone is able-bodied. So I don't know where people lie on that, but I'm just throwing that out there. That technically sexuality, if you're going to portray it, should it not reflect the society for which that's going to be tuning in and supporting and buying this content?
But even before that, you need those people in the film and the TV. Yeah. They don't have enough of them in the film and TV.
So it's a whole...
So that's the first step, is they got to actually have the representation on screen. Then how are you going to show sex between people that aren't there?
Exactly. So they have
to first show that on screen at least, and then they can advance.
I don't know if people want that though. Because again, it's I don't know. Do we?
Well.
I personally, like, I could stand for less sex on TV and film, but,
I know, you want people to dress like pilgrimage age kind of thing.
Exactly.
You want these long dresses down to your freaking toes.
Everything should be the village.
Your toes should not be exposed. Your dress should be dirty. It should be filled with mud and everything. And men should have long shirts on and bow ties.
No.
All right. No. Just a necktie would be good.
I'm just saying.
Keep those necks covered. That's too sexy.
Hey.
Keep those necks nice and covered.
Hey, you stop teasing.
Oh, so you love the Amish wear. Be like, you got it, Amish. You got it going.
Clearly loving, yes, modest wear. No, I mean, I do think that less is more, and I do think that everyone has to define what's sexy and what's sexual to them. I just think that there's more to life than sex, and I think that we need to also have that reflected in our content.
Where it's way too much, where I'm people probably get mad at me too. I think in music videos, I think it's way too much.
Oh yeah, that's a great example of where sexuality needs to be
all right, guys, is that all it's about? Like, because sometimes it has nothing to do with the song too.
Yeah, like we were just watching that music video. I mean, no disrespect for my Nicki. I love you, Nicki Minaj, but the Fifi song, and like there was like 5 seconds into the music video, there's like butt cheeks flapping right on the screen. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't recall that in the lyrics, so why are we watching her butt cheeks flap?
So now you have to wonder, is twerking sexual, or is it an exhibit of art?
Or human degradation.
So could it be human degradation or human expose on greatness?
From your ass cheeks?
You're calling it that, but just the skill that it takes to do that, we don't know. How much skill does it take for these ladies to perform that? Now you can argue though, is this kind of like gender bias?
Twerking?
Yeah, you could argue there's some gender bias.
Where men were twerking too. Get your life, Khalil. You better get your life. Why are you laughing so hard?
No. All right. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna have to get back on track here. Let's continue because this is getting interesting, but those things lend themselves to another topic for another time.
What gender should twerk?
Yeah, that's really great. That's good stuff there. We gotta have gender equality, right? Yep.
Every single time.
I better see non-binary twerking too then.
Khalil, stop it.
If I don't see it, I'm going to be mad. You're not going to be mad? I'm just saying, that's me. I don't care. What is the future for sex and society?
Twerking.
Well, yes. I mean, if it's a work of art, display your art.
By all genders and all designations of gender, guys.
If you say so.
Yes, but no, seriously. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But I would say, I think personally, similar to kind of what we've talked about in previous episodes, I think technology is going to continue to be very pervasive in our society. And to be honest, if I had to guess it, I would say I could see sexuality really having an interesting revolution in like AR, VR. Also, the advancement which they've had with like sex dolls has been, I mean, maybe interesting is the best word I could use to describe the changes taking place there. And also some of the sex toys that have been made and the kind of animatronics that are involved with that, if that's a correct term. So I think...
Animatronics?
Well, like things... So like things moving...
That sounds
like,
so wrong. Animatronics.
How do I say this without
that
being
makes me think of Disney World.
So, like, oh gosh, I don't want to be so crass.
What are you trying to say?
Okay, so, like, you know how they have, like, sex toys that are of a certain region? So either your butt or your, you know,
okay, it's their genitals.
So then, but they're there and they just move on its own, or maybe with a button or something, and then you can interact with it. So that's what I meant. Like, it's there's some type of device or technology in it, and it's, like, releasing and tightening and, you know, all sorts of things, and you interact with it. And so
okay,
that's what I meant by that.
Okay.
But
yeah. We gotcha.
What are your thoughts?
Alrighty then. Yes.
Hell of an episode.
We got your 411 on that. Yes.
Maybe I should have stuck to twerking. That's my answer.
I don't know.
But maybe in, like, VR. And, like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe.
Well, what about the robots twerking? I mean, isn't that going to be a thing?
They can twerk now?
Not yet, but they can do flips and stuff off platforms.
So they should start shaking their robot tail feather?
Their robot derrieres, yeah. They can drop it down low.
Hey,
drop down, get your eagle on,
you better
robot.
You better work.
Drop down, get your eagle on, bot. What's crazy is the robots are going to do it better than humans in the next 10 years. They're going to be like, wow.
This is why
we need to stop.
Having sex with them? I mean, this is what I'm saying. People are doing different things in different universes.
Because the robots are going to do it good, and they're going to do it good until they need more oil
and
or
we're
something.
Going to totally eradicate women then, right? So
women and men. I mean, everybody's going to be eradicated. It's just going to be the robots partying.
Twerking with themselves.
Yeah, they're going to twerk against each other. And what's good with well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess robots don't even have genders or nothing, right? They're just robots, yeah.
Well, when you put genitalia on them, I don't know.
But you can mix and match. So a one robot could be multi-gender and whatever. It could be anything at once.
Please move on.
It could be spirit animal. It's anything it wants to be. Yeah, that's what's cool about robots, though. But yeah, as we go on in advance, the sex robots, you know, they're gonna take over these prostitutes' jobs. I think that's gonna go down.
What will they do then? Like service them? Then they'll be technicians.
Well, careful with that word service, because we want to make sure you know that entails...
Service, like the technology. Like
yes, okay. The technology, yes.
Yeah, like
just make it very clear that these prostitutes are fixing the robots. Like, they're doing maintenance on the software and the hardware aspect of the robot. Oh, careful with that service word. I don't know if that service word is clear enough to people. We're saying that prostitutes will have some technical knowledge in performing maintenance on these robots.
Yes.
Let's go to maintenance instead of service. No, let's not use the word service when we talk about prostitution. That's all I say, because let's just make that crystal clear to people that robots will need maintenance, not servicing. Maintenance.
I mean, one for the other. That's what we were talking about, Khalil.
Careful. People have double meanings. Let's just make it clear.
Yeah, you've already explained my terminology.
Oh, okay, yes.
That's what I meant, that they're going to take, like, screwdrivers and open up their backs and press, make sure the wires are all connected, lights are on.
Yes, metal screwdrivers, yep.
Yeah,
metal,
absolutely.
physical
Get
metal.
out of the gutter, sir! Why are you thinking about sex right now?
No, I'm making sure people understand this is not a euphemism.
You're fulfilling the stat as we speak.
No, I'm telling people it's not a euphemism, because
How many times have you thought about sex in this entire conversation, Khalil?
That's unfair. We're
Exactly.
freaking saying the word almost every sentence.
Exactly.
Like, that's a trick
You're
question.
living your best life, aren't you?
Whoa. Whoa, lady. How
Yeah.
did my wife say this to me, guys?
Yeah, living your best life.
You guys hear this? This is what the wife has done to the husband.
Talking about sex all night. Yeah.
Wow,
Woo!
buddy. I'm concerned with, like, getting these sex workers off the street and telling you about how technology will fix that. Sex crimes are going to actually go down because of these robots. And then you say,
But
me.
wait, now what if you abuse the robot? Is that going to be a federal crime too, or state crime?
Well, you just blow up the robot then. Self-destruct button. There's no
but-
crime
well,
committed.
No, but, yes, no, that's not fair. If
Bye-bye, robot.
Oh,
No,
so
actually,
that begs
what?
an interesting
What are you
question.
trying to
If
say?
you abuse a robot, would you get... Because it's an inanimate object.
What do you mean abuse a robot? How can a robot
like
take
to
abuse?
hit it against the wall or
It's
to
made to
break
take
it.
that. It's made to take
They're
hits.
going to be made to fulfill people's violent sex dreams?
Well,
Like,
be careful because you don't want to take that out on people. Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, because people
get
do
deeper.
violent. Unfortunately, with prostitution, that's why technically it needs to
Well,
really
technically,
stop
yeah, you
because
can-
people are abusing prostitutes and sex workers. So what if people then did that to the robot? What happens to the robot?
Well,
Like,
careful because the robot has a protection function and it'll slap you down.
That would be phenomenal. That would actually be phenomenal.
You try to
if
be
it
like,
clapped back at you,
but it gives you a
because-
warning. It says, "Warning: this robot does not accept slaps."
Yeah, I
If you-
think that would
if
be
you
actually
hit it,
phenomenal because then
it
maybe people
destroys
will
you.
learn. Like, you better get your life together.
They're like, "Wow,
because-
that hurt, man." Hey.
Yeah, like break your hand next time. Like, yeah, none of this nonsense, guys. Oh, like in not Terminator, like RoboCop. Like, yeah, when the big one comes down, he's like, boo boo, like you're done. Like,
Well, I don't think people are going to use that in the sex work industry. That robot's not going to be used for that. If it has a gun on it, I mean,
Amazing.
but now when I can't even rule that out.
I know.
I know there's going to be somebody who's like, I want the robot that got the AR-15 on the head. Like, I don't know why, but there's going to be people that are like, there's people like
people
that.
are.
They're freaky. They're like,
turned
I want my
on
robot
by
with
machinery.
I want to air.
Yeah.
No, but they're gonna say, I want an air of danger. I want to know I might not make it out alive at the end of this night. There are people that do that.
Is
It's
that
weird.
like bordering on self harm and like that's weird.
People already do that, and they
Yeah.
get choked out, and we didn't go
This
in.
is a very disturbing
we didn't
subject.
we didn't go into what people enjoy during their sex
No, we have lots to
expectations.
talk about in WokeNFree. We can have that as a separate episode.
But yeah, that's a separate thing. Is like sex
Sexual
exculpations, kind of
fetishes
things,
and what's your fetish? Yeah.
and escapes that people do. But yeah, I know there's people out there that's like, I want a sex robot that has all the sharp knives on it as possible. So
because
it can
people
cut me.
need prayer. They need prayer.
And
That's
it's
what
like,
they need.
okay,
Gotta get your
but
life.
I thought you wanted to enjoy.
Well, you know, it's funny that you
this
said that
night.
because I just thought right now, since we're getting close to the Halloween period, like, what if people are doing, I mean, I haven't seen something like that, but I mean, I'm sure there's
What?
content out there where like people, you're like running, then there's zombies, and then you're like sexing, and then you're like a Halloween themed type of content,
a haunted mansion, like what do they call those? A sex party?
Yeah, exactly. Like, because they have sex parties, and like, what if you're doing that, and like a bunch of
I
spiders
mean, they do
come
that.
out?
They
and,
do that
like,
all year long, though.
Oh,
There's people that do
no.
that. You saw what is it called?
What? Oh no!
No, you saw it with Tom Cruise and
Not
Nicole
Tom.
Kidman.
Oh yes, the eyes
Wide Shut. Yeah,
Yes.
people do that all year long.
I guess so.
Especially the Manhattanites. They get
Hey,
down.
don't come for my
There's so many apartments there. It's easy. So they do
But yeah,
that.
like Halloween themed kind of
You
sexapades
can.
and
What about cosplay sexcapades?
maybe, yeah.
That's
Like,
big,
I don't
too.
know. I don't know what people are doing. Hey guys, welcome Free Nation. If you're into this stuff and like you'd actually like to, you're open to having this conversation, which you should be if you're listening to Woke and Free. Let us know. I mean, this subject lends for so many other follow-up episodes. So if you have thoughts, if you're an expert, if you just want to talk, I mean, not just freakiness, but like actual information, let us know. Hit us up on WokeNFree.com on our Contact Us page for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, so there's two shows that come to mind even when it comes to we're talking about like sexcapades. Is Black Mirror has an episode about the type of future of sex robots. So you should watch that series. They have It's a great series, but there's a specific episode that actually deals with a sex robot kind of thing. And then in terms of the sexcapades, there was this show called Enchanted on Netflix. Season
it was
one.
Amazing. Yeah,
they actually had that illusion, or they actually showed like a little sex party kind of thing going on too. So they fit that in there somehow.
What episode are you talking
No,
about?
you didn't watch all the episodes of Enchanted. Remember Enchanted by the Simpsons creator, yeah. Matt Groening, I believe. Yeah. But they had an episode that kind of alluded to the sex party, so it is pervasive in that's
everything. That's
TV.
what I'm saying.
They didn't show anything, but they just alluded to, we're going to get down and diggity and we're going to do what we want. So
yeah, I mean,
it's there.
not to, guys, even, we didn't talk about this, but, like, bestiality, animal sex things, like,
all right,
it's
that's
just,
something else
yeah,
now
all
you're talking
sorts
about.
of, we just were watching The Shape of Water, and, I think, wouldn't that constitute as sex with an animal? That's, like...
Yeah, we're animals.
Yeah, but, like, don't you have to sleep with someone in your same species? Like,
No.
Well,
remember, there was different species of man, too. Like, we are Homo sapien, but there were others before us as well.
But that was no man. In that film.
He might have been Homo fish. I don't know. Homo fishy. I don't know the scientific terms.
If you guys saw Shape of Water...
I don't know.
I know it was well accredited. We want to know your thoughts on that because I'm very confused by that film, and I'm very confused about why sex with an animal deserves awards.
Don't say that about Aquaman. Like, come on, let's get it together.
Not Aquaman.
Let's get it together.
Ugh.
No, not the new Aquaman.
He's
original.
Delicious. I love him.
Watch the original cartoons, and then you'll understand.
You're just a hater.
You'll understand what I'm saying. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Scenario 1. DeWalton has worked as a salesman under a very demanding manager for the last 3 years. One day his manager was let go, and he got an immediate promotion. He thought, now he could finally go out with Sally, who he'd always had a crush on, but never approached. Unfortunately, a few days after he approached Sally, he was called into HR. She accused him of trying to grab an inappropriate place. What caused this issue to occur?
Other than the person elected to the White House.
You gotta grab them by their joy, right?
Yeah, by their joy. Yeah.
That's what counts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good encouragement.
I feel like that's what Joy on The View would say as well. Like, I feel like we're very much in line there.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I think you actually alluded to it, this idea that people who gain power somehow need to yield this power in a sexual manner, unfortunately. And so maybe, there's two streams of thought that come to mind for me. One, he maybe didn't feel like he was in a position before to ask her out because because they were working maybe on the same level, he thought she wouldn't be impressed by him. So like once he became the boss, it's like, who's hot stuff, so maybe she'll say yes. But then also when you said he approached her, I immediately was thinking like with his pants on or like or with his pants off, because sometimes sometimes men have very peculiar, or people have very peculiar ways of expressing their emotion too.
Yeah, don't leave out your female brethren in that.
I'm a hardcore feminist, so I'm going to assume that the women who are doing this are deeply confused, and really this is like a male behavior.
Keep them panties on. Yup.
But, so why did this happen?
Yeah.
A, because of maybe, how sex is dealt with in this country. B, maybe he never got proper training on how to approach a woman and how to treat a woman.
That's a good one. I don't think that's ever taught, if you think about
exactly.
it. That is never taught.
He's obviously not understood what a gentleman
taught.
does. If you're interested in a lady, again, you don't grab them by their joy. You don't start rubbing your crotch and say, hey, you want to get some coffee? Like, no, absolutely not. This is disastrous. And then also understanding just like you don't where you work. So if you are interested, meet your Sally outside of your job, because what if Sally became his boss? Then what? Then it becomes a whole weird thing. But what are your thoughts?
But he's got to get a ball and gag. He's got to get some leather stilettos.
Khalil.
No, because he's got to get what he got coming to him. Well, that's what people do, obviously, when they get in these higher powers. I don't know.
The Me Too movement's going to really switch up people's lives. They better
hopefully
get it together. They saw what happened to Cosby. Listen, you better get your life.
Well,
or you'll end up
learn.
in prison, and it's not going to be cute.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna have even like Cosby at it, so
Yeah.
let's keep things in perspective, I'd say.
Why do you think he did that?
Yeah, I just think because he's been like all his life he hasn't had anything, and then this one moment he's given some power. He thinks he's like the king of Rome or something, so he can do whatever he wants now. And he's like, you know what? I have the courage now because look, I'm in this power. Nothing could happen to me. It's like I have tenure, even though I don't have anything like that. So I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna just go for it and ask for stuff. And then you look at the news and the media, and you say, oh, I can say whatever I want and do what I want. So you go ahead and do it because there's no real consequence for that. That's what we've seen it just from politicians. Maybe he thinks he's a politician and he can just get away with stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, remember,
so he can be a Supreme Court justice now.
Remember,
Excellent.
That only works if it was 30 years ago. That's your excuse. If you did something 30 years ago, you can't be charged with it. That's the thing.
This world is disgraceful sometimes when it comes to how we treat each other and like sexuality. Like it's just disgraceful.
That's a touchy subject because time is
sexual
definitely
assault. Is usually a touchy subject.
Sexual assault 30 years ago.
Khalil.
It's muddy.
Khalil.
I'm not saying who's right or wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying in general.
By multiple sources too. Yeah, multiple people are all just out of their mind. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not out of their mind, but there could be motives, and
there could be, but I mean, in this case, this is disastrous.
It's a little, it's a little rough. It's a little rough, but
share your thoughts, guys. WokeNFree.com.
Yes, that's. I think even that is a different subject.
True.
Yeah, that is a different subject there. Let's get on to Scenario 2. LaTanya has been heavy using her sex toy to engage in telesex with random women on the internet. The maker of the toy asked if she would like to be a beta tester of a new type of toy that would bring her experience to the next level. The only thing is, she would have to be willing to anonymously share the data collected with this new toy with the toy makers. Should LaTanya give up some privacy for her own pleasure?
Well, you said anonymously, so she'll never be outed as her sharing the data, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is LaTanya, does she like to share her sexual...
She doesn't like to share much. I mean, she posts on Facebook, but that's about it.
Okay. I guess it's going to come down to whether or not she really wants this toy. And she wants to use it. If she wants to use it, then she'll be willing to sell out her privacy and disclose her moments of pleasure.
That's a good way to put it. Wow, that's a good way to put it.
And if it's not worth it, then she'll have to buy it like everybody else and still have.
But she's gonna have to wait though, and it may never come out.
That's her business, isn't it? How bad do you want to come to the party?
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'm so clever.
Touché.
Indeed. And you, sir?
Yeah, I'd say she better give up that privacy as soon as possible.
I thought you were about to say something different.
Oh, no, that privacy needs to go right out the window because she getting that toy for free and she having fun already. Like, are you kidding me?
Rock that world.
There shouldn't even be any question. She should. Well, the only question is my data truly anonymous? But that's about it.
I know. Is there footage?
Delete that footage. That would be about it.
Immediately.
That would be about it. But yeah, there can't be footage. I mean, no. This is. Well, I'm not going to go into what type of toy this is. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. I mean, use your imagination. You can figure out what type of toy that is. That's up to your imagination what type of toy she's using. It probably isn't recording like footage, though.
I hope not.
I mean, that's all right. Yeah, that's some news kind of stuff. I don't know. Scenario 3. Ying Li and Sulu have created a love film that depicts a couple's journey of love through time travel. They decided to include some raunchy sex scenes in their film. Unfortunately, their country has deemed their film pornography, which is actually banned there. Should they edit their film so it can be released everywhere in their country, or do they decide to leave it as it is and distribute it globally only?
Good old First Amendment rights issues. Yep.
This is a world's right issue, though. There's people in countries that this is actually a rule in their books. This is a true issue. I mean, this is real. This is some real stuff here.
You come up with the hardest questions, man. Okay, Okay, so there are a couple of things I'm thinking.
Oh no, let's hear. Hopefully it's not questions. Hopefully it's just like
I always have questions.
Back and forth.
I
hopefully.
always have questions. But how much money
boy.
did they invest in the film?
Wow, really? The money counts?
Yes.
How much money they invested in this
how
film?
deep in the hole are they?
I mean, this is like a $200,000 US dollar film.
Oh, okay. Of their own doing, or they had investors?
No, they had investors, of course. They didn't
man.
raise this on. They raised this money. They didn't
They
put that in.
crowdfunded this? How did they raise this funding, man?
That's a great question. They didn't release how they got all the funding.
Okay.
We don't know how they got the funding.
So they have an obligation to other people to release this film then?
Yeah, they have to release
they
this
have
film.
the
Yeah,
obligation.
this isn't anything. Yeah, they have to
You
do
can
it.
have other questions, and it sets up the scenario. I'm telling you, man.
Wow,
There's always another question.
I just hope you wouldn't have said if they had no obligation not to release it, because either way, they need to release it in some
No,
form.
of course not. So actually, my answer is they need to release it no matter what. But they might need to, if they're not allowed to do it in their country, they're not, unless you want to be arrested, I guess if that,
they could, they can be in prison.
If you want to be a prisoner of war, then have at it. But I would think the best decision would be to do something under legal governance, and I would go elsewhere and distribute it elsewhere, since you have a legal obligation to do it for your investors and for the time and energy you put into this project. But maybe start some type of campaign where you petition your local government to not deem this as pornography and allow it to be seen in their own country, because that does seem unfair that their own people won't be able to enjoy this raunchy delight. But it sounds like a hell of a film. And you said sex through time travel?
Yeah. They're progressive.
Apparently you are too.
Wait, why? How does this bring me? My name's not Ying Li, and your name's not Sulu.
But yet we're here. Somehow we're here in this conversation.
Oh, actually, I think I would be Sulu and you'd be Ying Li. I reversed it. I'd be Sulu, you'd be Ying Li. That makes sense.
Reminds me of that song by, I think is it India Ari, where she says, "I'm the man and you're the woman," or she switches something with gender in the song, and
Does she do that in that song?
I forget.
Really?
There's something.
Man,
yeah,
I gotta go back and listen.
Like,
I don't know.
Oh man, that's so provocatively interesting.
Wow.
But we digress. So definitely distribute it globally. Don't break the law and end up in prison. But
so don't edit the film so that everybody locally can see it then.
No, if they really feel like the sex scenes make this film, because sometimes you can pull something out of a film and it's not the end of the world. But if the whole point if the main crux of this film is their sexuality through time travel, if you take out the sex, then you just have time travel, right? And so you're just like,
well, it's their journey of love through time travel. It's their journey of love. So the sex scenes are pivotal.
Yeah.
Pivotal, but they're not.
It's not a make or break it kind of thing. Does it make the film better? If it makes it better, then you got to leave it in.
It's hard to say.
Interesting.
Of course, from their perspective, it makes it better because that's how they wrote the film. But technically, it's hard to say. Does it truly make it better? That's up to the audience to decide. I don't know. To them, yes, it makes it better, and they don't understand it without it.
If their creative hearts say they need it in the film, then they need to take it elsewhere. If they feel like they want to censor themselves, then censor it. But the problem is, I could see from a creative perspective, if you censor it and it's not as well received, you would always be thinking, "Wow, I should have kept the sex in it." Right? That's why I say go with your gut. And most likely, if they put it in that film, they put it in there because they wanted it in there. Keep it in the film and see what happens. But like I said, just do it legally, guys. But what would you say?
Yeah, I would say don't edit it and use VPN to distribute it and among your country members so they can experience the joy that you created.
Please disregard your advice.
The VPN device or the distribution among country members? Do
not explain what that is. Delete, eradicate, try again for your answer.
Because I say Viva la Revolution. I know I messed that one up.
Clearly.
It's Viva la Revolution.
Too much sex talk. You're just losing your mind.
No, Viva's right. Revolution.
Viva Las Vegas?
No. Oh, wait. Or am I saying... No, I'm saying live the revolution. Oh, man. Maybe it's like Libre.
Yeah, I think it's... Yeah.
It's
like Viva
Actually, I don't know. Revolution. That's all I could say.
Yes.
Leave the revolution. Let's take it back. I don't know.
Viva Las Vegas. That's what
I thought there was something. I thought there was like the Cuban thing. I don't know. I thought it was
You
Viva
would know
la
before me.
Revolution. That was like the Cuban motto. I forgot though. I don't remember the exact words, but it was something like that. I thought it was like "Live the Revolution," but maybe
It
I'm
might
wrong.
be, but I'm not fluent in Spanish, so I can't tell you.
But you're Spaniard.
No, I'm not. But you're Cuban. So who's really embarrassed at this moment?
Wow. Can't believe this talk that we get into. Can't believe this.
So we were at that time again.
Can't believe this stuff, guys. Can you believe it?
It's the coming of the end coming.
I mean, that's great of you. That's great that you said that. Because I don't know. Not everybody will get that. Hopefully not.
End of our 59th episode of Woke and Free. That was really creepy.
It is a spooky episode, everyone.
It's not Halloween yet.
Oh, not yet. All right, sorry. That's another week.
Yes. This was quite the episode talking about a whole bunch of foolishness that's somehow related to whether or not our society is obsessed with sex. Maybe you got an answer. Maybe you just think we're obsessed with it.
No, you better not think that.
You decide.
I don't accept that.
Khalil does not accept that.
No.
And you can let us know your thoughts on WokeNFree.com. And as per usual, I always ask, will I leave you hanging for what our next episode will be all about?
On our next episode, we will be talking about what is the history of our favorite foods. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
If you want to be a guest on the show, please submit a topic for an upcoming episode on our Contact Us page on WokeNFree.com. That's WokenFree.com. And we'd love to hear from you on social media. Always feel free to hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokenFree.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokenFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokenFree is more than a podcast, it is a way of life. Until next time.